Hey, Facebook is back up, and so are we.
Here
on a
we are.
Monday, the first time ever on a Monday, the Mad Hatter Shows podcast. I'm Neil Snyder, with me for the second straight week.
That makes me honorary.
Repeat.
Like a cousin.
Chameleon is with us right
I'm
now.
back, baby.
Absolutely. I found somebody that would do this shit 2 times in a row. So
I don't know if that's a compliment or not. But I enjoy myself, so I'm back.
Awesome. Mad Hatter Shows. If you're not familiar with us, we put on eclectic acts all over the country. So we've had music shows, we've had stand-up shows, we've had shows with a hypnotist, we've had pro wrestling, all kinds of different shows that we've put on, and we've become a national act.
Did you say
basically.
hypnotist?
We had a hypnotist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you gotta. You're new to the company. You gotta play some catch up.
Oh, wow.
So absolutely, definitely check our history. Google us.
I'm gonna have to.
Fantastic. So, Mad Hatter Shows this weekend. You'll notice I've got even worse bags under my eyes than normal because I've been driving and riding. We woke up yesterday in Minnesota, weekend with Donnie Baker. I think I have a photo for me on stage this weekend, not having the greatest skin, as I do not eat the best when I'm on the road.
Your bags don't look that bad.
Really? You're just
Actually,
saying that.
you know what? You look kind of handsome today.
Wow. There's 2 handsome guys on the show tonight, and so I'm going to take that because you're not even going to be looking at me the whole rest of the show, I would imagine. But
they paid me to say that.
Yeah, probably. That's so we did the shows with Donnie Baker this weekend in Sioux Falls and in Rochester.
You've been busy.
Yeah. Also, since the last time we had Mick Foley did a concert here recently at the Irving. So
yes, Mick Foley and me.
Yeah, our producer is not listening to any of the cues. We're now 2 pictures down that I was thinking, here we go. Mick Foley, standing ovation at the Irving Theater.
Yes.
I was there, and you were there.
I was there.
And I got proof that you were there, too, if we can find that clip. There we
go.
Look
at me. Look at that face.
Making your Mad Hatter debut.
Oh, man. I was there in the back with Mick being important. And you were slaving at the bar, man.
I was selling
it's like
drinks.
I borrowed your white privilege for the night. But anyway,
there's the odor. There's me with my greasy skin in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. About 5 beers in, I had just eaten a Wendy's order that was
4 for $4.
Yeah, Donnie Baker. He was making fun of me on how many different items from Wendy's that I'd purchased. And they were out of chili. It was shortage is hurting us all.
Oh, wow.
But
you look like you had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. I sold a lot of shirts, and here's this is the shirt here. It's sweeping the nation here. It's all over the country. People are buying this shit. Nobody remembers my name, but they remember I'm the Fluffer. So just the Fluffer. If you guys are interested in this,
just the Fluffer.
Hit up the Mad Hatter podcast page. You can PayPal me or Cash App or whatever.
I like that.
You know what? I'm going to give you this shirt then. You can wear this on a future episode.
I am honored.
Just the Fluffer.
Look at that, guys. Just the Fluffer.
You put it on, we're going to probably sell 20 on the next broadcast.
What do you have to do to earn one of these?
It's not. You don't. It's figurative Fluffer. You don't have to. Please don't get me in that'll be in the next Indianapolis comedy scene thing. It's going to be
how about that?
Neil Snyder has to.
Where do you got to go to get one of these?
You know what? Hit up the Mad Hatter podcast page or hit up my personal page on Facebook. We don't have the links up yet, but we need to fix that.
Pretty cool.
We need to fix that. So
I like that. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative of this wonderful gift.
Yeah. So we're the folks that lead off. What were your impressions of Mad Hatter Show's event?
Man, I had a ball. I was in the back with Mick Foley. He was giving me his mama's homemade caramel candy. I was celebrity status. The show was so professional. Oh man, if you missed it, you just missed it. I hung around. Normally I do my set and but I did my set and I hung around. I sat in the audience. People were buying me beers. I had a ball.
It's a nice thing. Yeah, I was like, I don't need to be there. I can't even handle all the free alcohol I get after the shows.
Gosh.
Like it's
so much
crazy.
love in the building. I'm telling you.
So you opened for a non-traditional comedy crowd because it was a storytelling show of kind of unique niche folks that are pro wrestling fans. Probably a little bit different than your normal crowd.
I was a little nervous, but they were the most receptive audience. They were ready to laugh. They were ready to have a good time. Yeah, they were ready. I was ready. They was ready. I loved it. I can't wait to get back.
Spoiler, and we're not actually going to do the spoiler. I'm going to make you guys wait till the end of the show, but before this broadcast is over, we are going to say the next time you can see Chameleon on a Mad Hatter Show's stage, because we have the date confirmed. It's next month, and so don't you tell anybody yet. Don't tell anybody yet. But we're going to announce that because she's going to be another opening thing. So tell us a little bit, because we're still waiting on our first guest to call in here. How did you get started?
Man,
what turned you to comedy?
In comedy, my coworkers tricked me into comedy. They tricked me. Free is my favorite F word, literally. And they kept calling me, talking about, come over, we got free drinks and free entertainment and free everything, free food. And I ran over there. And after I had the free drinks and the free food, I said, where's this free entertainment? And they handed me a microphone.
Yeah, it's you.
And it was me. And I went for like 45 minutes, and your friend Sweaty Hands was in the building and literally entered me in an amateur contest, and I won, and it's just been uphill from there.
Was this one of those? Was this what was it, the show I was at? When I started out and I was doing the urban rooms, it was always like the room was like named after a luxury car or something. So this was Bentley's was the first show I was ever at 21st and Franklin, and it was supposed to be a talent show, and it was a bunch of rappers and me is what it was. So
well, I thankfully I don't do those shows because I have issues with that. You can't hype the crowd up and then tell them to sit down and listen. Right. It doesn't work. So I don't do those type of shows anymore. But I did try. But no, I actually was at a show that was promoted by the Willises. I can't remember the official name of the trade. Anyway, it was an amateur night, and it was awesome. So there we went. Nice. And luckily, there was Dwayne Cobb was in the building that night, and he hired me for a show. And there was another promoter, and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, we're like vultures.
And now I'm sitting here looking at you.
Yeah, we're like, she doesn't suck. Grab her. Because the open mics are miserable. They are.
I hate open mics.
They're miserable. That's the thing. I don't understand. Like, there's people that literally, like, they've been doing comedy longer than me, and they want to get up on stage 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm just like, I cannot. I've put in my time. I can't do anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I can't.
There's a lot of open mics in this city, a lot of them, and salute, but I can't make them.
Yeah, and it is like when you go in front of 200 people on a Thursday night at the Irving Theater, it's hard to go where there's only 11 people and 9 of them are pissed that you're talking over the TV. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get excited for stuff like that.
And I write. I'm no diss, but I write. I literally write jokes.
Yeah,
I write them myself.
And you're not. I'm going to guess that same as me. You're not shy with throwing a new joke in the middle of a set when there's already a crowd there and risking eating shit on that joke.
Right.
Because you're just like, I'll pull it back if I need to. But the best way to test a joke is in front of live people. Yeah. Not other comedians.
I hate getting in front of other comedians.
Not the bar staff.
Because they're not going to laugh. They're not here to laugh. They're here to evaluate.
Yeah, or they're here to look at their set or whatever. So that's. So how long have you been doing this?
I think I'm somewhere between year 4 and 5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not long. I'm still a babe.
I mean, you did not. We've got a guy a couple of the other people that open a lot of our shows. They're in their 20s. So.
Oh, I'm not a baby.
we wait. I was in my 30s when I started. So.
I wish I'd started, but let me remind you that some of the most greatest female comedians did not start until their children had graduated high school and went into college. Don't make me name names, but I can.
You know what?
I can. We can start with Roseanne Barr, Phyllis Diller. Some of the greats didn't achieve greatness until they were in their late 40s, early 50s. Mm-hmm. So hey, I'm gonna just jump on that trend. Yeah. Never too old to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. Never too old.
I don't have the stats, but how old was Red Fox when he got his sitcom?
Oh,
you know
my
what I mean?
gosh.
So I mean, when you're looking at that setup, so
yeah.
Awesome. We got somebody saying anyone here on the. So that's the thing right now. You guys can interact with us on the show tonight, and we would love for you to interact. We would love for you to basically reach out. If you're watching the show here and you want to add to the conversation, we can actually include your comment if it's a good one.
If we can say it on the air.
Another thing that's cool too is I like to see where everybody is watching from, because we've branched beyond just Indiana. So if you're watching from somewhere else, we can have you reach out to us and just say where you're calling from, or say where you're not calling, but we're necessarily. Here, Marshall. You're posting.
He said, "Is anyone here?" I'm here. Are you here, Neil?
But that's a username too, and I guess that would be like your Facebook name, or maybe.
Oh.
That's not our first guest trying to figure out
I'm
like
not
if he's doing
tech-savvy.
this right? Like that's we're trying new stuff tonight, guys. Facebook's been weird today. Bear with us.
Facebook's had a mind of its own today.
Did it drive you nuts? I couldn't even get on my Pokemon
Well,
Go
I'm gonna
app
be
because I
honest.
logged in through Facebook. I was like, I can't even do this for stress.
I thought it was my whole phone today. I didn't know it was just Facebook. I'm old, so it took me a minute to realize. And I work in surgery, so I was behind a firewall all day. So I just thought my phone was having issues, but it was Facebook, so the whole world went mad.
Yeah, we got a little echo going on there, so I gotta trying to play with all our tech settings here. So is this new to you? Is this your first podcast experiences with us?
You are. I do have had a lot of firsts with you, Neil.
You know what? It's you'll never forget your first. That's
a lot of firsts. First podcast, first real good show. I'm still excited about the show. I can go on and on about that show. But yes, this is my first podcast experience. Hopefully not my last, but definitely my first.
awesome. Well, I think I'm about to be outnumbered on the broadcast here because we've got another ginger on the broadcast.
Yeah, bring the other ginger on.
Call in. There is a very handsome ginger.
Yes, he is a very famous, handsome ginger.
Yeah. Ginger Billy is
9-10 p.m. at night. I appreciate y'all. Makes me feel
we're I don't know who Marshall Walker is that says anyone here. I was like, is that Billy trying to get through here? So we've got some folks watching us tonight though. What are you up to normally on a Monday night?
Well, I mean, it's probably a little too exciting for most everybody out there. I just put my 6-year-old to bed, and now I just took my sleepy time medicine. So after this here shindig, I'll be in a coma over there in the bed. That's about it.
Mr. Billy Ginger. First of all, I want you to know I am from Kentucky, sir. So I know a real redneck when I see one. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can tell by these classy tattoos. I know that probably sets me apart from the other rednecks you know. You probably don't a redneck with a single wide trailer tattooed on his arm, do you?
No, sir, no, I do not. But I know some really good rednecks. So it is an honor. I have enjoyed your videos for many, many, many months now, I have to say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
How in hell do you look better in them TikTok leggings than me?
Well, let me just tell you, the camera does a lot. All right. And I don't know if you saw the front of them TikTok leggings. It looked like I'm, smuggling a stack of nickels down there. But no, the back, I don't know, man. My butt, I ain't got no butt. But them suckers, I slid them things as far up my crack as I could to make sure it looked like they was painted on. You know what I'm saying? So
looking good, brother. Looking good.
Ginger Billy making your Mad Hatter Show's debut on Wednesday in Vincennes, Indiana. Have you been to Indiana before?
I have been to Indiana a couple times. I hosted some shows there back in the day when I first started out.
Okay, and that's part of the Nitro tour?
No, that was
before that
back
even.
when I was opening for another guy.
Okay.
Back probably, I guess it was about 4 years ago is when I started all this. So yeah, probably about 4 years ago.
4 years, and now you're looking at millions and millions of video hits. Like, so I think I mentioned the Nitro guys. We've actually worked with Andrew Kahn before. We're getting ready to do some shows with Catfish Cooley, so we can mention them on our broadcast here.
Them's my boys right there. I love them to death.
But you went from like third in that pecking order to something happened overnight. Now you're selling tickets like by the hundreds. You blew up. What happened? Like what was the video that did it?
It's called Leaving the Manager That I Was With.
Whoa, okay.
It's called.
How's that for honesty?
Honestly, man, I just felt that, I need to go my separate way. Catfish and Andrew are like brothers to me. I love them dudes more than anything in the world. But I needed to go my own way and be free to do my own thing. And the time I did, that's when things took off.
Yeah, to the tune of 40 to 50 million views sometimes on a single video. Like, are those numbers inflated, or is that legit figures?
No, man, I've never boosted one video. I've never spent a penny on a video. It's all organic. And it's one of the things where I take a lot of pride in my videos, and I won't post anything if I don't think it's going to get at least 1 million to 5 million views. I won't even post it.
Who at Tarnation is helping you with those vehicles, though?
It is me and my other friend. That's it. You know, people I've seen where people say, "Oh, he's got to have a team." If you come by my house any given time, you will see us under an oak tree with a car jack and cinder blocks. And whatever we working on at the time is going to be jacked up in there, and we cutting it with a sawzall and drilling. There ain't no telling how many screws is out my yard. You know, so don't pull in there. You're going to get a flat tire, I can guarantee you. But it's just me and him, and he's just that dude's just a wizard.
Wow.
You know, I imagine it, and I'm like, this is what we want to do, and then me and him put it together.
I saw the ambulance. Did you see the ambulance?
I've seen that one. Yeah, that's
I think there was an orange juice drip in it.
That was Mad Dog 2020.
I was impressed.
Yeah, that was my anesthesia right there.
So you got all these props and you got all these, you know, the effects and all that kind of stuff going on in the videos. What can people expect on the stage show? Why come see you on a stage show when they can watch your videos at home? What's the special kick?
Well, you know, what's cool is when people come, they don't know what to expect because I've hidden all my stand-up. My stand-up is not online, but it is true stand-up. I'm a storytelling comic. I mean, it is. When I started making these videos, I was like, man, I also want to be able to do the stand-up side because there's a lot of people in social media. They can do the videos, but they can't do stand-up. And there's stand-up comedians who can do stand-up, but they can't do the videos. And I wanted to try to be my best at both. So you can expect an hour of just a whole lot of, I mean, there's a lot of truth to what I'm saying, but there's a lot of things about my family, about my love life, and just other things. I am a storytelling comic. I ain't gonna be riding up on a stage with a Ford Festiva, trying to cut grass or nothing like it.
So you mentioned your love life there, your private life here. Chameleon over here does some jokes about being plus size.
Yeah.
You like the girls thick.
I like that.
Hey, I don't know if you can see it. That says "God bless thick chicks" right there.
Hey, you know,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
My wife is, I got some stuff in my set about thick girls because my wife too she's a thickin'.
Don't nothing but a dog want a bone, ain't that right?
That's right.
Don't nothing but a dog want a bone.
What's them things called? I don't want no thigh gap. You know what I'm saying?
You need
girl
them
that
to
can drop
rub.
a French fry and catch it between them thighs.
You preaching, boy, preach.
Yeah.
See, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I got a question for my family from Madisonville, Kentucky.
All right.
They want to know what's your favorite kind of bologna.
Carolina Pride.
Carolina Fried.
The only kind. Carolina Pride.
Okay, Carolina Fried.
Pride. P-R-I-D-E-Y.
Pride.
What they like.
I don't know. I think it's Fields. But you know what they tell me? They say
look on his face when you said Fields.
They said if it ain't no red wrap around it, it ain't no good. I know that.
Oh, this yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's gotta have red wrap.
Gotta have red wrap. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, got to.
Okay.
That's
All right.
it.
Okay, that's the red check. That's the redneck check. You don't know nothing
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that. Redneck check.
I think we've got 8 shows with Ginger Billy so far on the schedule, and more planned for 2022. Like, you're out there staying busy, and those are just shows that we're producing here. So some of the cities we're going to be coming to: Indianapolis, Indiana; Hobart, Indiana; Vincennes, Indiana; Bowling Green, Kentucky; Lebanon, Tennessee, which, by the way, folks, is almost sold out. If you're going to go see him in Lebanon, Tennessee next week, get those tickets right away. We got shows Wichita, Kansas, and Independence, Missouri that I'll be running those shows. So we'll be meeting in person for that. That'll be your treat there. You'll be seeing me in real life. But a lot of stuff coming up. Is this your first major tour, or is like the staying this busy?
It is. I mean, me being the headliner, this is what I feel is this is definitely my first big time tour. I mean, me and my guy who features for me, Brandon Rainwater, who, by the way, is hilarious, awesome dude. When we started, we was like, man, I told him, I said, I want to start this tour up. And he had been working at a comedy club. So I said, man, let's book it. We'll book it by ourselves. So we started booking some shows. And then I was like, oh, you know what? This is kind of hard. So we, right about that time, Mike, my agent, who's now my agent, reached out and he said, hey, man, I just want you to know we're opening a comedy division at my agency, and I'd love for you to be the first guy. And I was like, well, that would take some stress off of my life. So he booked it, and now, it's like I wake up the next day and he's like, hey, man, you got 50 shows in 3 months. And I was like, wow.
People don't realize, though, they think the business side of it's easy, and they think if they run an open mic somewhere that there's already a mic sitting there, that all of a sudden they're a producer. And there are so many variables with setting up a tour, and with the artist, and with the venue, and with the advertising and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff there that, is it still fun for you, or is, now that you're touring all the time, is it tougher?
Well, Brandon helps me a lot, man. My wife is in nurse practitioner school, and my son, he's in first grade, and I am very, very, very family oriented. I love for them to be on the road with me. And, right now in this stint, they can't be. And I get, I get homesick. I do. I miss them a whole lot. When they're with me, I'm on it. But my wife looked at me the other day. She was like, it's 3 months. Suck it up. All right. Just suck it up. Do it. And then I'll be out of school and we can tour with you. But yeah, man, it's fun, dude. The people I get to meet, and these people who come to these shows are, I love them, man. It's just like, like I've known them forever, because they've watched me in the last 4 years. They've watched my whole entire life. Because I put it on there, so they've
seen your wife, they've seen your kid. I mean, they've seen all this stuff because you're authentic, I guess, in your videos. I think that's why maybe part of why you blew up is people can relate to you. We had Dustin Sims on a couple times ago, and I told him the same thing. I was like, you're not playing. That's not your actress wife. That's her. You know, that kind of thing. So. Yeah, and I think you've got a lot of female fans too that I think appreciate that. You're not making fun of women. You're tributed. In fact, your wife gets the better of you in a lot of the skits, right?
She does. Well, she does. She does.
She should.
She does. As she should. I mean, but what is cool, man, is if you come to my shows, it's 90% couples. It's married people, and it's because I think me and her, they see, these people have watched my son from birth. All the way up now till he's 6 years old. They've watched, and they, like you said, they watch me and her, and I don't sugarcoat the things I go through. If I'm having a bad day, if something happens, I put it out there, because I think too many people just try to make it look like life is all good. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they have no faults, but I let the world know.
You put a picture of you and your kid and your wife at the beach. 272,000 people clicked on that. Is that ever like a little overwhelming to you that you're like, that many people are peering into my life right now? Is that you got that picture right there? 272,000 people like that photo.
It's weird, man, because when I got on, actually, we was down there at the beach. I had not announced that I was down there until that day, or I was down there for like 3 days. Had not announced I was down there. And people just kept, oh, man, I saw you was down here. I saw you was down here. I saw you was down here. I'm like, how did they know I was down here? Well, I found out that the 3 or 4 local news stations there in Florida had actually posted a picture of us and was like, hey, Ginger Billy is down in Destin, Florida. And I was like, it's just me. Like, why are y'all telling people, But, it's cool, man. But at the same time, for a dude who lives out in the middle of nowhere, it's weird. It really is. You
come into town and you grocery shop. Can you get by with buying bologna now, or are you taking pictures in line and in the deli and all that? I mean, do you have a private life still?
I do meet and greets at Walmart every time I go. I mean, it's a meet and greet, but it's cool. This is my hometown. And what's funny is you get people that's known me most of my life. And they walk up and like, hey, man, can I get a picture? I'm like, dude, I've known you since I was like 5. Like, you don't have to ask me for a picture. But no, I love it. There's not been a day where I will never tell somebody no who walks up to me, because without them, where would I be? You know what I'm saying? I'd be nowhere. So it's because of them that I get to do this.
So were you this entertaining as a respiratory therapist? I'm a scrub tech by trade, and I never dreamed I'd do comedy, but were you this entertaining to your patients?
My coworkers will tell you yes.
Yeah.
My coworkers will tell you, and if you ask any of my managers from the past, they'll probably shake their heads. But yeah, in the medical field, man, especially me being a respiratory therapist, I get some of the sickest of the sick, and you have to be happy. If you don't, they sense it, and their day's already bad. So now you come in, and now their day's worse because you suck. So yeah, you got to be
I
you know,
bet. I bet
happy.
you were a very fun coworker. I can imagine having you in class.
Yeah, we had a good time. We certainly did.
I bet.
No doubt about it.
So did you go to an open mic night and try in a club, or did you start with videos? Like, how did you get to be, hey, I'm funny and let me do something and call myself a comedian?
Dude, I never, ever in my life said I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. It was never planned. I never had intentions. I guess around 4 or 5.5 years ago, I got it in me to do a video one day. And I did, and it went viral. And I was like, well, that was cool, you know, because I had all these people contacting me and I, you know, people messaging me, and I'm like, well, that was awesome. So I did it again, and that next video I put up was the one where I was wearing a romper. And I don't know if you've ever seen it, but man, it's got like 60 million views all across the internet. I was all over Lad Bible and Viral Thread and Yahoo, and I was like, man, you know, it's just like a high, I guess you could say. I mean, it is just, you like, and now I'm so competitive. I love to see other people do great. I want other people to do good, but I also want to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a thing to me now. I'm like, well, how far can I get with this? You know, but at the same time, it's, you know, I mean, you get to make people laugh for a living. Like, I get to go out here and do what a 6-year-old would want to do. Look at that.
What's going on here?
I know, right? It's one of those contraptions.
Yeah, that right there is actually.
And this outfit. Who is your stylist, Ginger Billy? Who is your stylist? I've seen you in leotards. I saw you in pumpkin nipple guards the other day.
Yeah, I feel I'm very you know, I'm cool with who I am. You know what I'm saying?
You have to be.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of men who are just like, you know, oh, I'm manly, I can't do that. I'm like, dude, just give me them darn yoga britches, let me put them things on. I don't care. You know, if I think it's funny, I want to do it. I want to put it on. But yeah, the whole that car that's the lawnmower there is actually the same one as the ambulance. I've changed that thing 6 different times.
Oh wow!
I feel like I've seen a few different times, and it looks like that vehicle keeps getting an overhaul. So
yep,
it's like watching Pimp My Ride.
Paint.
Got to ask you too, because a lot of comedians are shaped like me. You would beat me at arm wrestling. I can just say that right now. Is there a comedian out there that you think could whoop you in a cage fight?
Yeah. I tell you, I think me and Catfish would be pretty good. And I love Catfish more than anything in the world. But I'm gonna tell you something about that dude there. He's the nicest, most friendliest dude ever. But you wouldn't want to get him ticked off in a bar.
Okay.
Because yeah. He could probably just pick me up and throw me like a football. But I ain't no fighter. You know, that's not me. But you know, I try to keep in shape because I don't want to be just another fat comedian. No offense to any of them out there.
Right.
You know. But you know, I try to keep my physique in order because I've just done this so long that I can't imagine walking out on stage and being, you know.
Yeah, you can't be Randy from Trailer Park Boys now because you're Ginger Billy, so you've got to where you can't just eat cheeseburgers. So
and you got to rock those cutoffs. You got to stay.
That's it. You got to make them legs look good. I can't have ankles and cutoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Tickets are at madhattershows.com for a whole bunch of Ginger Billy dates here. Also, since we've spoiled it a little bit, Catfish Cooley, we've got some January dates with him coming up too. Andrew Kahn's going to be his opener on at least a few of those dates. So who are some other folks that are your buddies that you like watching when you're at home and pulling up YouTube or you know, watching Netflix?
Well, let me think here. I got my buddy, let's see. It's Granger Smith's my boy. Earl Dibbles, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a singer. There's a guy named Kentucky Ballistics, cool dude. Upchurch, he's a singer, rapper.
We've worked with him.
Catfish. I'm trying to think. What else do I watch? You know, I'm stuck with watching these darn kids play with toys. That's what I watch. What's his name? Ryan, the little kid that just sits there and plays with toys while the other kids watch him play with toys.
Yeah, why do the kids watch other kids?
You know, and I'm gonna tell you, you know, when you actually make content, you don't watch a lot of other people's stuff. I don't have time to sit and watch because I'm out there building some awesome piece of redneck engineering.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you hear somebody's got 50 million hits on a video, you're like, let's go to work. Let's top that.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't let them beat me. So get out there and do something, you know.
Where do you see this going for you? Are you wanting to do stand up for a long time? Could you see yourself in a sitcom? Could you see yourself, there's guys doing rap. Catfish Cooley's got an album coming out. Like, do you want to get into music? Like, what else is out there for you?
I've got I think 2 or 3 songs. I put out like 1 song a year just because I like the process of doing it. A music video shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's just different, man. It's a fun thing to do. So I put a music video out every now and again. But honestly, I enjoy what I'm doing. I love it. It's a fun time, and if it goes anywhere from here, I'm cool with it. But if it's just me doing videos on the internet and doing stand up, I'm cool with that too. You know, this has made a life for me I never ever thought I'd have. So I'm cool with just being a jackass on the internet.
Pretty awesome.
Awesome. Well, you're doing awesome with it. We'll be seeing you very soon. I'll see you Wednesday here in Vincennes, Indiana. You can go tell everybody too, because I'm sure there's some people watching that aren't going to be in the areas where Mad Hatter Shows is doing. What's your website where they can look and see if you're near them?
My website is gingerbillycomedy.com. You can find all my shows on there. When you click on there, you're going to see a picture of me topless.
Fantastic. You're gonna break that site's gonna break right now from all the hits.
Yeah. See, there you are right there.
Look at that.
Like, wait a minute, am I on OnlyFans or am I on this website?
Fantastic. Well, we can't wait to have you. I just got a quick spoiler. We saw the next call-in guest is already sitting there waiting, so we're gonna let you go and switch on to Christopher Titus here. So it's a superstar night tonight.
Well, do me a favor, tell Christopher Titus I am a big fan of his show. And just the fact that me and him was on the same screen a while ago, I mean, my loins is moist right now. Just thinking about that. That's cool. So.
He'll be happy to hear that, I'm sure.
That's going to be a strange thing for me to deliver, but I got to do it now. So that's all right.
Yep.
Thanks so much,
and send me a screenshot of how awkward his face is when you do
it. All right. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
All right. See y'all.
See you later.
I'll let you break the news.
All right. Did you get to see that, Christopher? Did you see the message I have to deliver you? Do I have to say it out loud? Is that?
Let me unmute that. There, am I muted? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So I don't have to tell you that his loins are moist. I guess that's.
Yeah, I know. I heard. I heard it, and just so make sure we can get the screenshot.
Okay.
There, they can use that.
Absolutely
and send that
horrified.
To him. I was going to say, Larry the Cable Guy got a lot younger. He looks.
Wow. Well, he came out.
I turned on and I was like, Are they interviewing a white supremacist or something? What is going on?
You never know what's going to happen on Mad Hatter Shows. We book an eclectic
it's a famous redneck
compendium of different people. Yeah, yes. It's ridiculous. He got famous off videos. And so different time for you. You got famous putting in work in the clubs years ago when the grand prize was getting a sitcom, and I mean, you did it. I mean, you rose to the top the old school way.
It was a weird time, man. I was lucky enough I did the Just for Laughs festival. I got it. Well, first of all, I was a shitty comic for about 12 years first, and then I threw everything away and I wrote Norman Rockwell's Bleeding, and because I didn't care, and I was going to quit comedy. Actually, I was going to be like, man, I don't like doing this. Yeah, I don't know if when you do stand up, if you do a bit too long as you're on stage and as the bit's heading towards your head, so you have to say it. I started to hate every piece of material I did, and I thought, well, I'm gonna either end up dead or I better change my act. So I changed my act to a crazy act, and then I went nuts for a while. Got kicked out of some clubs, and then I figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've done that a lot. I mean, we're openers a lot of times, so you got to stay vanilla, and you got to stay. Well, these are the jokes that work, and you can't veer too far off because you don't want to make the crowd mad before the headliner comes on. So, what was kind of the moment that made you go, "Hey, let's take this another direction"?
I was in this acting class and I wrote this bit. It was weird because sometimes you write something that you're not good enough to perform yet. So I wrote this bit called "We Need Comedy to Get Rid of Our Desire to Kill." Because everybody walks on stage and they go, how you guys doing tonight? I would walk on stage and go, do you people even know why you're here? Is it because you like paying $4 for a beer? Is that why? No, you're here tonight because comedy gets rid of our desire to kill. And instantly the audience was like, oh shit, what's happening right now? And I would go through this 4-minute story about the worst day you can have. And at the end of the story, I'm stabbing my boss in the chest with a letter opener from his desk, screaming, I just need a good laugh. And I wrote the bit. I rehearsed it. I was so scared of it. I took a buddy from my acting class with me because I knew what was going to happen. I was going to do the bit. The audience was going to beat the shit out of me in the alley, and then he was going to have to drive me to a hospital. That's why I brought him. So I did the bit, and it was Igby's. I've told the story before, and it was Igby's, this little comedy club, and it was the weirdest thing because I got done with the first 3 minutes. 4 minutes was that bit, and the audience went, yeah! They were just going nuts, and I didn't have any other material like that. I went to my old shitty material. I went to, hey, you guys ever go to the store and you buy stuff? And the audience went dead quiet for the next 7 minutes. Wow. And it's something, as comics, you guys should know this. The audience knows when you're lying. And I showed them my soul. I showed them where I really was, kind of a psychopath. And they were like, okay. And then I showed them the bullshit, and they didn't like it. So try to find, I know what you're saying. You have to find a way to get across to the audience, especially when you're opening. But within that, try to always be dead honest you. If you can find that, you'll cut years off your development time.
Wow.
Yeah, we book a lot of them. We book rappers and country artists, and we book novelty acts, pro wrestlers telling stories and hypnotists and all this kind of stuff. And when we posted the Christopher Titus, the first video, or the first poster, I think was Hobart, Indiana, which the show's been moved. But when we put that, it was like comics were like, respect. That's a great booking. Like you've got that type of name recognition. Man. It's just like I knew you guys weren't all doing all novelty acts, that kind of stuff. So
you got a real comic.
Not all guys with puppets. Sometimes we get that guy that does. It's funny. It's nice, man. I think I don't know if I have whatever reputation I have. You never know. The reputation I had for a while was I'll tell you a shitty story. I tanked it at the American Comedy Awards. Tanked it. I mean, fucking tanked it. So. I got booked in the American Comedy Awards. This is years ago. I think I had the show on the air, and they wrote this bit for me. They were like, okay, so I was supposed to go on, and the bit was I was going to present Charlton Heston with a gun, and then the whole bit was they wrote me was I picked the gun up off the tray to hand it to him, and it goes off, and I shoot him, and he dies. That's the comedy they want me to do in front of lefty liberal comedy, L.A. And I said, I don't think it's funny. And they go, no, it'll be great. I go, no. I have a team of writers on my show that they know what's funny. I go, we'll come up with a bit me pulling a gun up on stage and shooting somebody. I go, is Charlton Heston going to be there? And they go, no, we're just going to drop a noise off stage like a body falls. I'm like, wait. So the physical comedy that you're gonna do isn't even gonna be in the room. Can you just keep subtracting comedy from this bit for me?
Right.
So they go, no, do it. And I'm like, all right, you know what, man? I'm still naive enough to know that to not know that. Okay, well, they say it's funny, and I walked out, man, and it was. First of all, I walk out, I get a couple laughs at the beginning, and then they present the gun to me, and the second I pick the gun up, the fucking room goes dead silent. Like people like, what is this bit? Because, me with a handgun, you can tell that's hilarious. And then they go, well, I'm presenting award to Charlton Heston, Mr. Heston. And then I fake like the gun goes off. They miss the sound. The sound doesn't match the gun. And then off the stage you hear the thump. And that thump noise was pretty much the bit. That was actually a perfect ending for the bit because there was absolutely no laughter. And I walked off stage, and there's a backstage, and I go up to George Schlatter. I go, hey, do not ever air that. If you air that, I will sue you. He goes, yeah, it's kind of a weird bit. I go, no, I told you it wasn't going to be funny, George, and it wasn't funny. And they looked at you, and it's always your fault. Yeah, as a comic, it's always your fault. You're supposed to be able to make everything funny.
Absolutely. Well, your next show
maybe if I punched a baby in the face, they could have made it a little funnier.
Yeah, maybe.
Your show with us is next Saturday. It was like almost a pop-up show. We moved, we announced it like 3 weeks ago. It was a Sunday, and now it's going to be a Saturday. MadHatterShows.com. Plenty of great tickets are remaining for Christopher Titus, and then we're also going to have you in Oshkosh, Wisconsin in November.
These are your shows.
These are our shows, awesome. Yeah. So those are the ones we're plugging right now. But we'll let you plug your website when all said and done.
How did you guys make it through COVID?
Doing pretty well. John, the main producer, who is off stage, and he's never. People don't always realize he exists. They think that I'm the only guy that does Mad Hatter. He owns his own home already, free and clear. So he wasn't at risk of losing it from making payments. So that helped a lot because we canceled like 50 shows or something ridiculous, and we had several. We had some big. We've kind of grown the last couple of years, and we had some big name acts that like we had a lot of tickets sold, and they were just like, "Yeah, we're not rescheduling," and so it was. I mean, it would have put a lot of people out.
We all went through it, man. We bought a house 2 months before COVID started. You know, I had got through my divorce, and we bought other, and I had the best year booked. Gone, just gone on his day. And what the hell? COVID's not over. It was over for like a 3-day weekend, and then Delta came and started kicking our ass. Like, what happened? It was over for such a small time. It's weird to be living through revelations, don't you think?
Yes, I think it's very weird. I do.
And then
I read it. Didn't know it was going to be like this.
I didn't know I would be here for
we
it.
announced all the shows and like, hey, you can do these, and then it was like, oh, we got to sit everybody away from each other, and you got to be all masked up when you walked in. And it was like, you know, we got to make everybody worried about it. And it was just, I remember we had a show with Kevin Farley, and Indianapolis basically said, hey, Monday we're shutting everything back down, but go out this weekend if you want. And the show was like a Thursday night, like 2/3 of the crowd didn't show up, you know, and it was just like, you know, because they've been watching the news. Who's going to go out when you just said, hey, the world's ending again?
Yeah, nothing makes you enjoy comedy more than possible death. You know, hey, let's go out and possibly end up on a ventilator. We'll get some drinks. It'll be okay. Let's do it. So I wrote this whole new show about what you know what's going on, and it's from my white trash perspective. I'm from the clan of white trash. I'm not white trash enough to be in the clan though. So like the last guy.
Wow. So Ginger Billy, the last guy we had on there, his whole thing is the videos. Yeah, that's the whole like that's how. What is up with I guess. What do you think of this new breed of the way comedians are getting famous or whatever? Do you think that the traditional stand-up, like you're going to need to adapt to it? Or are you going to have to be starting to do videos yourself? Or
man, we're on our 500th podcast episode next week, right? Actually, and then I do the Armageddon updates. We've been putting out. I put all my shows up. By the way, people, if you want to go see what I do for these shows, go to my YouTube channel, Christopher Titus TV. I have 8 comedy specials up there that we put up for free for COVID.
They are very funny.
Yeah, I think YouTube's got them that way too. Like it's all of your stuff. It's not a 3-minute clip. It's the entire special.
Yeah.
Like most people aren't giving their stuff away like that. That's
I own them, so I actually I sold them for years, and then when COVID came up, and all of a sudden like you guys lost your bookings, and I lost my bookings, and I thought, well, if I'm losing stuff, everybody else is losing stuff, so why not just put them up there? I'll pull them one day, but for right now, it was helpful in the sense that got people through. I've had so many people thanking me, like, dude, I didn't know what to do. We were locked in the house. We spent 2 weeks watching your specials, and so man, I've made my money off them. So if I can just give them to people, and then they could buy a ticket for the next show when COVID's finally over, when we're no longer living in the fucking plague, it will be fine.
And and it was on your recommendation on one of those shows that I threw away all my capri pants, all of them, but I still don't have my ice cream truck.
You gotta find it.
And I do want to know if you have on tidy whities, because you said if I threw away my capri pants.
Well, they're tight, but they're modal. My wife makes sure. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, no. My dad used to. I remember being a kid. My dad would walk out of the bedroom every Saturday morning. We're watching cartoons, T-shirt, tidy whities, and just and I look back. I was scarred for life because of my father.
I was disgusted by my capri pants. I haven't worn a pair since. I just want you to know.
When I lay out, that's when I would do that bit on stage. I go, capri pants. I'd like a pair of pants that make my legs look shorter, my hips look, my ass look bigger, and my feet look huge. And I would see women, I would do the bit, and women would go,
I can't believe you said that. And I was mortified. I was like, I have 8 pair of fucking capri pants. So I don't anymore.
And you've got, isn't that crazy? You've got what, 10, 12 hours of just stand-ups from those specials out there or whatever, and you can remember when somebody gives you one line. out of it, you still remember all of it because it's your creation.
No, I don't. No, that's
you don't remember.
That's the mistake. I can work on the new one. But no, I don't remember it. I sometimes I'll watch every once in a while. I'll just watch 10 minutes ago and be like, "Huh, this is pretty funny." I don't have that much RAM. I'm a dumb white boy from a suburban area in Northern California. I don't have that lot of RAM. But I write a lot.
Yeah, you write a ton.
I think
this is my 10th. Zero Side Effects is my 10th special. Yeah.
I think Neil might be a chuckle slut too. For real, he might be.
Because by the way, I didn't have zero side effects. Did you guys get the vaccine? You guys got it?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. So did you have any side effects from it? Did you get sick?
I did not. I did great.
I was fine. I had a weird desire to switch from Mac to PC. That's the only thing that happened.
Nothing strange there.
Man. Of course, by the way, we as a society had zero side effects too, man. We went through the worst pandemic in 100 years. The second it was kind of over for that 3-day weekend, we went back to mass shootings, hating each other, and punching out flight attendants.
Yeah.
So welcome to America. We're not changing at all.
Yeah.
So I was online earlier today looking for some clips and some of the stuff that you've got up there. And take no offense, I'm like 20 years behind on everything. I am not. My pulse, my finger's not on the pulse of recent things.
Wait a minute, you don't keep track of everything I do all the time? What the fuck, man?
No, I don't. But I'll tell you what, the first 8 minutes of your movie is on, like, in preview mode to watch that. So for people that don't know, tell me, this is. I don't know why it's not been told to me that I need to watch this movie before now. Not this one, because I have seen this one. This is you recognize this photo?
Jeez.
Not this one, because I have seen this one, because I go to the horror conventions and all that. But the new one, the special unit. Tell people, if they're not familiar, what that is.
Special unit. Basically, the premise of the movie is, due to the Fairness and Disabilities Act, the LAPD has to hire 4 handicapped undercover detectives, and I play the worst cop in LA. I play. If Gary Busey was just a drunk cop, because Gary Busey's always plays a drunk cop, but I was that, and I'm the worst cop there possibly could, and I am. I have to become their training officer, and I have a lot of friends that are disabled, and Deborah Carrington, and I always thought this was a great idea to give disabled actors a shot at being funny, because either they're the special little hero, or they're the wise, like Yoda, like guy in a wheelchair, and as always, some able-bodied person saves their ass. So I made them cops where they had to be real cops, and it's balls out funny. We almost killed a cameraman on the set, though, in a comedy.
Oh wow.
Well, we had this kid Jeremy, because it's a cheap movie. Like, we spent, I don't know what we spent on it, but it was low budget. So we got Dodge to give us a car. Dodge let us use a car for the movie, because whatever, my past, and they said, yeah, you can use it for a Charger, for the cop car, my undercover car, and it was a Hemi and everything. So one of the scenes I wrote was we had to slide the car in, and I wanted to get a real dramatic shot. Well, my cameraman Jeremy, who has the wisdom of a 21-year-old, is lying on the cement on the curb while the stuntman whips his car past his head, and the bumper came 4 inches past the camera.
Oh,
so I walk over and I'm directing, and I go, "Hey, Jeremy, I don't want to squash your head. How about you just back off a little bit?" And so we moved the camera. We got that. I go, "We got that. We're good." We moved the camera to the other end of the thing to get another shot. A stunt guy rolls the car in, and this time, for whatever reason, he hit the curb, ripped the entire suspension out of the Charger, and the car landed on the frame right where Jeremy's head would have been. So, that was the last shot of the day, and Dodge was pissed.
Wow. So my impression of watching the clip that I watched was somehow it's outrageous without being mean-spirited. I was like, somehow he pulled that off. Like, I want to watch the whole movie. That you're not like, oh, I shouldn't be laughing at this. You're like, this is awful, but I should be laughing at this.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So you did well with that. I guess I haven't seen the whole movie yet, but I need to, and come back with a review.
We wrote there's a school shooting in it. I wrote a funny school shooting. Sorry. It's on Amazon Prime right now, special unit. I guarantee you will laugh. The thing is that I had to make my character the worst guy ever. So he's such an asshole. and you hate him so much. And these guys just give as good as they get. They just keep going after me. So, I have a knack to be able to write edgy stuff that works.
Yeah.
And they
really
end
do.
up earning their spot too.
Because not everybody can pull that off.
No.
But I do. My other hobby, but when I'm not doing comedy, is I go to these conventions, and a lot of these. There's a Killer Clowns reunion at Chiller. So I remember I saw that movie recently, and you've got a small scene in it. What were your memories? This is probably before you're talking about your epiphany, where you changed your stand-up act. This is before that.
Yeah, I have another stupid story about that movie. So that was my first movie I'd ever done before. I'd never been on a set. I didn't know what I was doing, and but I got the part from some stupid audition, and I have to. So my first scene is, and the Chiodo brothers, by the way. If you're a big horror fan, those guys, they came. Like, we have a Prince party we do at my studio every year, and they came last year. It was great to see them. But anyway, so I have to drive this car in. I have to pull up to it. It's on a cliff in Santa Cruz. I pull up to this fence. I get out of the car. I throw beers to people. This is my scene, and then I say my lines. Well, what they didn't tell me was, I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. By the way, they didn't say your lines and stand here. By the way, your first job in any kind of entertainment you've done, you have to drive a car in, park it, do all this stuff. So I come in, I park the Jeep. I don't set the emergency brake because there's a fence in front of me. Well, the car starts to roll. They didn't tell me it was a prop fence. The fence was made out of balsa wood, and we were on this 300-foot cliff. So the car rolls into the fence, and the fence goes, brah. And all of a sudden, the director goes, I hear, cut! And these guys start running over. They grab me, throw me out of the Jeep. They open the door, grab the girl, and throw her out of the Jeep, and pull the emergency brake. And that was my first scene ever. And I'm just telling you stories where I'm just a loser today. What is that?
How close of a call was it? How close to the edge? I mean, was it like you were?
It was had the fence let go, car was gone. The bumper was hanging over. So the fence, it was just this light wood, and it just kept bending. And when they pulled the e-brake, it was like the front of the car was hanging over. The wheels hadn't gone off. And then they ruined it. So they had another car story. They had actually leased that car. And you know who did the cotton candy in Killer Clowns? They did it inside. They ruined it, had to buy it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only been. Maybe that's why I'm not in a lot more movies. Things go wrong.
I love this.
Titus is around. Things go wrong. Holy shit.
I love the stand-up where you refer to the inner voice a lot. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, the inner retard. Yeah, I can't say the word I know, people, but
I like you. It. But I love the way you explained it, though. I never, because I don't refer to anybody I've ever said it's never been about that. But when's the last time you heard from the voice? Today.
Oh man, it's weird. Bruce Springsteen killed it. When I met Bruce Springsteen that time, he said, "Hey man," he goes, "I watch that show Titus with my son, and I gotta be honest, man, I'm not a big sitcom fan, but man, that show was art." And when he did it, that voice kind of went out. It still comes up sometimes with my wife, but it's just her voice, repeating her what she says. The inner voice doesn't bother. Do you guys have it still? Do you have it still? Does it still bother you? Do you have an inner voice?
I do.
You don't? You just pop it all the time.
No,
you
I
think
do.
You're perfect.
I do have an inner voice. I do have one. Oh, I do.
I think I still get it. Sometimes when I'm around comics, and be like, "Man, these guys hate you, man. You're never gonna be Dave Chappelle."
I know. I get the inner voice a lot. I do.
I've dulled my inner voice. I've muted him. So.
Mine became an alcoholic, so I don't hear from him.
Oh, wow.
He's passed out most of the time.
Okay.
So we're going to have a lot of fun this Saturday. October the 9th is the first show with Christopher Titus that we're doing. If you're in Indiana, I think our third show with you is in Indiana in December, and that's the first time I'll be able to meet you because I've got other stuff scheduled. Had you kept the Sunday, I could have met you this Sunday, but I was bummed out. But I'll be at Hazard Fest in Tennessee doing my nerd convention stuff. So
I will tell you this, man. It's a new show, all new show. It's a blunt assessment of what has happened in the last 16 months. And I just did Denver with it, and I've been doing it. I've been doing about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and but I've been rehearsing it, and I got 4 out of 5 standing ovations in Denver. So it's a good show.
A lot of pressure on Indianapolis then. Bring your best your best standards.
I didn't want to bitch about something though. My agent sent me on the first 5-6 weeks of the tour to Arkansas, Texas, Missouri, and Ohio. And I called my agent. I'm like, dude, did you take a fucking life insurance policy out on me? Are you trying to kill me? like I was on the COVID Forever tour.
I think we're like, we're the like top 15 in the country, right? Which would be technically bottom 15 of the country, that kind of thing. But we're not in the elite. We're not, it's.
You're not Alabama. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. That's we're not there yet. You know what though? It's worth it. You're going to be in historic theater where Elvis's last stage at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis was cut up into 12 pieces, and one piece of that is the front of the stage you'll be standing on in Indianapolis. So you will be
skinny or fat Elvis?
Yeah, it was at the end, so it was fat.
Oh, so there's going to be a bow. There'll be a bow.
Awesome. And then obviously not all of your fans that are, I mean, there's people watching this on your page. They've clicked like on Facebook, and they may not be in the Midwest. Where else can they find your other dates and all of your other stuff that they can support
we're doing
you with?
Oklahoma. Go to ChristopherTitus.com and get all of it. If you guys want to see all our content, if you're like, who is this guy? And watch him, go to Christopher Titus TV on YouTube and see what we got. And like I said, this new show is really, I will tell you this, it will make you feel a lot better about what's happened in the last 16 months.
Awesome. I appreciate you stopping by here. We'll meet up soon. Ginger Billy earlier and Christopher Titus now. This has been a great show.
Very nice to
Thank you
meet
guys
you.
for stopping in here and helping us out on a Monday.
Guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Have a good
See ya.
night.
Thanks, Chris. Bye-bye. How about
That was very nice. I was like starstruck. He's that dude.
Yeah, it's almost like he was like he's such a natural. And he has the podcast of his own, but he's such a natural where he's like flipping the questions on us. Like I was thrown for a second. He's like, I was like, wait a minute, I just lost the show. But no,
he's like up there though. Like he's really, for writing and I'm just over here because everything I want to do, he's doing. I'm just.
So I said
like,
you're a comics comic. I wanted to tell him that. Like that's what when people. There's a difference between different levels of success and all that. One of the most impressive ones is obviously when your peers respect you.
Man.
So that's an exciting thing. With such an accomplished writer and done so many things, different kinds of talents. Because Ginger Billy, his clips come 5 and 6 minutes at a time, and not an hour at a time.
Naturally funny.
But also just crazy selling tickets now and getting people out there. So
two different kinds of funny, both hilarious. And
we've had 4 really cool guests for you so far. We have spoiled you because sometimes we got to poke them and prod them, and they're not exciting until we push that out of them. And this one is just sit back and watch them just do their thing.
It's been very exciting around here lately.
Awesome. Well, we're going to plug the last few shows that we haven't mentioned yet, and I haven't even. I guess I wrote them down for you, but I'm just going to kind of be the guy that.
I'll be your Flavor Flav. I'll be your hype man.
Be like
go Neil.
That's going to be a good
Neil.
show. Yeah, that's
go Neil.
So the next one we've got coming up here is Christopher Titus. I think
yes.
I don't know if I gave the exact dates.
I'll be in the room like this.
So Christopher Titus is going to be this Saturday at the Irving Theater. He's going to be 11/18 in Oshkosh, 12/16 in Hobart, Indiana. Tickets at madhattershows.com. So that would be fun. He's not holding the mic too. He does that whole he's basically just up there, almost like one man show.
He's very
acting.
Jim Carrey-ish to me. I didn't want to say that, but he's I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, definitely a show worth.
He's like a real show, guys.
Worth checking out. Indianapolis. If you don't have plans, get to this show on Saturday because it's and we just announced it, so it's not close to selling out. So you can get close to this guy. You can be in there in the mix in a historic theater. So it should be a lot of fun. Ginger Billy, obviously, I think we've got the poster that's got all the dates for him. We've got like 8 dates coming up with him.
That's a real redneck too, y'all.
There's from his ball washing video. I think that's the one where it's the giblet washer.
I saw that. His wife's trying to throw it out. I don't blame her.
So the first 3 shows, and that's the Indianapolis and Hobart dates. Those are the first ones we announced. We've got the other ones. So obviously, if you go to madhattershows.com, you're going to see the other dates too. But we have Vincennes, Indiana, coming on Wednesday.
Don't miss
we
it.
have Bowling Green, Kentucky,
Bowling
and
Green.
Lebanon, Tennessee. And then those two, Indianapolis and Hobart, which are on there as well. And then we've added some November and December dates. So in Kansas and Missouri, and also Ohio and Michigan are coming up. So
The Mad Hatter gets around.
Yeah, we're starting to get to all different places.
Gets
That'll be
around.
our first shows in Maumee, Ohio. We've done the Ohio Theater in Toledo, which is no longer open, so we're moving to the Maumee Theater there. We tried to schedule some stuff in Michigan, and like Mr. Titus was talking about, we've had to move all the Michigan shows so far. So we're finally going to have those Michigan shows with Ginger Billy and Saginaw Court Street Theater. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow.
The Hodge Twins are coming up too. The
Okay.
Hodge Twins, they're moving their Milwaukee and Fort Wayne dates to 2022, and a lot of people are going to just hold on to their tickets, I'm sure, and keep those for later. So our first shows with them are actually going to be in December in Terre Haute and Evansville. So there's still tickets available for those at MadHatterShows.com. You're familiar with the Hodge Twins?
There's two of them.
It's
Double, ladies.
yeah, sometimes I just assume the people in the co-host seat have known all these folks. Sometimes they don't. Sweaty Hands didn't know anybody. He was just like,
Sweaty's old as dirt. I'm not that old. I'm old as gravel. He's old as dirt.
But yeah, that's. I feel like John's like we've been booking too many ugly people. We just need a handsome tour, because you know what I mean. From
It has
Ginger
been the
Billy's
handsome
freaking
tour.
ripped, and then
Billy's
you got
buff.
and then you got Titus got traditional good looks, and
Oh,
the
he's
Hodge
very
Twins
handsome.
are both
And it's two
both
of
ripped
them. Don't
and
forget,
yeah,
it's
it's
two of
just.
them.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, I ate like
Yeah,
buffet all
you're
weekend.
handsome.
Like, that's
I
the,
gave you the compliment.
I know, but that was. It was almost like you're heading it off, so I didn't get all
Well,
sad
I
at this
noticed
point
on
in
the
show.
last show you mentioned I didn't give you one, so I thought,
Yeah.
well, let me just get it over with.
Doesn't
on this
count
show.
when I have to solicit it. Several shows with Donnie Baker still on the schedule. The next one is coming up in November. So we're going to
That's
have
funny.
shows in Grand Island, Nebraska, and Lincoln, Nebraska. Those will be our first time in that state.
Oh, wow.
The Husker State, is that the nickname?
Corn, yeah.
Corn Huskers.
With Corn Huskers, same thing. Yeah, that's them.
We've also got Donnie the night before Thanksgiving with his band, the Pork Pistols, at the Irving Theater.
That
So the
name
Irving's
tickles
getting
me.
a lot of stuff. It's supposed to tickle you. It's
know
naughty.
it
And then after Thanksgiving, Richmond, Indiana on the 26th. On the 27th, we'll be in Muncie, Indiana. I'll be opening those shows. I think Muncie may have another special guest, but it's not final yet, so we can't say who that is. But their name came up on the broadcast, so that'll be a little tease for you.
Okay.
Also, New Albany, Indiana on December the 4th. The night before, he's with the Pork Pistols in Louisville. Louisville? How do you
Tickle-me-king.
say it when you're down there?
Louisville.
Louisville. Okay.
Louisville.
Vol, like Vull.
Louisville.
More Donnie Baker dates coming up in 2022. Already announced. We're going to make our debut in Jasper, Indiana. We'll make our debut in Danville, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Martinsville, Indiana, Wausau, Wisconsin, and Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So we are going to be
Everywhere.
bunch of stuff.
Gonna
with
be
Donnie.
everywhere.
And a lot of those shows are going to have me too. So you're going to get me. You'll be
Because
able to
Neil gets around.
you'll be able to buy the Just the Fluffer shirts. That's the.
Just a fluffer.
All right, this is the time that a lot of people that would otherwise have turned off the broadcast already have been waiting for. We're gonna unveil the next Chameleon showtime that's going to be on there.
Oh, yes.
November the 6th, Richmond, Indiana, with Kevin Farley.
Yes.
With 4 openers. One of them will include Chameleon in Richmond, Indiana. Will that be your first time at New Boswell Brewery?
Yeah. Yes, it will. Here I come. Here I come, New Boswell Brewery.
The
Say
night
that
bef-
real fast.
The night before, we'll be back at the American Legion in Lebanon. The only show we've done there so far is with Donnie. So that's with Kevin Farley. I don't know if I got a Kevin Farley video to our guy behind the set
I
or
can't
not.
wait.
But there we go.
There
There's
he
Kevin.
is.
Fabulous. We've had a lot of fun with him. I mentioned him earlier. That was we put him at the Irving Theater, and we'd sold like triple digit tickets, right? And it was like there's 10 minutes to go before it started. There's like 45 people in there, and I was just like, I think everybody stared because the mayor went on TV and was like, after Sunday, I'm shutting it all down again.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, everybody want to get their last laugh in.
We were in Plainfield after that, and we were in where else did we end up doing? I think we did. I ended up with him in South Bend. I can't remember what the third other city with it's Crawfordsville, my hometown.
Oh, okay.
And that was a weird one because they had the
forgot your
contact
home.
tracers there. Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was like, we need everybody to sign in here, so like when you get sick, we can call everybody at your table.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
like, what?
We can track you down.
So I think we're in better shape this November than last November.
We
with
are,
at least
well,
there's
If we aren't, we don't know.
Exactly. So
think we
poor
are.
Kevin, we bring him during flu season every year, but that should be a lot of fun bringing him back. I'm a big fan of him. God, there's still more shows to announce. John Reap and Reno Collier. John Reap's they're double headliners, so we need to get Reno's clip up here next time. But another guy that's known on the radio and has a big kind of cult following behind him. Another ginger, like
I was just checking that out, and he has a beard too.
Exactly. It's just so John Reap, Reno Collier double headliner show will be Bowling Green. That's going to be at the National Corvette Museum,
Yes,
which is the
I'm
same
very
place where we
familiar
have
with
Billy. That's where the sinkhole
In
happened at one
Kentucky,
point.
I'm
Yeah.
very familiar with it.
And then he's Evansville, the community center, our first show there. We'll be there as well. So that's going to be in November. So if you can't be out with Ginger Billy in Kansas and you're closer to Indiana, you can go to the John Reap show.
Just find a ginger.
Absolutely. Here's another one. We got the poster up. This is not a Mad Hatter Shows event, but because it's my event, I'm putting it on this broadcast. Christopher Hightower and Griffin Sciarra, one night only at Tippy's in Winamac, Indiana. It's northern Indiana. You will not be able to buy the tickets on MadHatterShows.com. We sell all those in-house. Christopher Hightower is one of my favorite comedians in the area. That's him right there. Just looking at the facial expression. He's a little more animated there than sometimes. Sometimes he's on my shows, he sits down and tells stories, you know what I mean? But there he's
dancing. He's having a good time.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Winamac, Indiana. It's a pizza place and bar in Winamac. The room holds like 60 people or something like that. We'll do 2 shows if we need to. But she's been having us come out every couple months. Sweaty Hands headlined the last one. We got Chris Hightower this one.
Okay.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Griffin Sciarra is the feature on that, or co-headliner. I don't know how we're calling it. They're going to do around the same minutes. They're both incredibly funny. So that show is going to be November the 13th, Saturday. And so you can get those tickets. I think we can't tell it here, but I think if I'm like this, I believe on the bottom of the screen, that phone number, it's a 574 number, will be going by that people can call and reserve their tickets.
Get your tickets.
Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun.
That's a lot of shows.
And one more that we can announce another weekend here at the end of January. Catfish Cooley. We've shown his picture already. Ginger Billy used to tour with them. I think Donnie Baker's been booked with them before. He got famous doing the one chip challenge, and his reaction to that drove everybody nuts, and he was hilarious with that. But Catfish Cooley, the middle guy on that photo there, he's going to be doing some more shows. He's the guy that Ginger Billy said he could probably pick him up and throw him.
Yeah.
We're going to have shows with him in Plainfield, Indiana on January the 29th. The night before, he'll be at the Peoria, Illinois, at the American Legion in nearby Bartonville. So we're planning on doing lots of 2022 shows with him. He's in a similar situation to Billy as no longer tied to an agent. We're taking that spot. We're going to be putting him a lot of places. So if you guys are fans of Catfish Cooley, look at the Mad Hatter Shows page to see when he comes near you. Andrew Kahn, I've opened for him before. He's a really funny guy. He'll be accompanying Catfish on a lot of those shows. So holy cow, that's a huge lineup.
Wow.
Honestly, there's shows I can't talk about yet because they're not final. There's more stuff coming up. That 2022 is going to be huge.
You don't have nothing to do. You just, I just. Come on now.
We're going to have to get you on some more lineups. We're going to have to.
No, I'm talking about the people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they don't have nothing to do. All that stuff to do.
But we're going to have to get you on some of these
Oh,
on
yeah,
stage,
you
too,
definitely
'cause they're
got to
gonna
get
need
me on
see your
some of
set.
them.
The people at Mick Foley found out how funny you were, and
Yeah, I love
Kevin
Mick.
Farley's fans are going to see that too. So should be a lot of fun. So
Let's do it.
holy cow. So
Y'all come and check us out.
Appreciate you guys that watch this either live or delayed. Who knows if people giving up on Facebook and tomorrow they'll try it again. But we're going to
still
keep
be
doing
there.
this as long as we keep putting out shows with some fantastic guests. We're going to bring them on here to plug their shows and to kind of act as an infomercial. I'm just happy to be involved.
Yeah, me too.
So-
Once again.
Absolutely. You got a shirt this time. Maybe
I
next
know,
time I'll
right?
get you some.
Hey, I get the pants.
Get you some capri
Maybe I get
pants.
some pants next time. No capri
no
pants.
capri pants.
That joke was awful. I swear I throw around all my capri pants.
Hey, we'll see you next time. MadHatterShows.com.
Thanks. Good night.